Hey, this is Consumerwil, and I totally can't sleep. I have this crazy idea in my head, and I just can't get rid of it. So a while back, I started doing sale making, doing hot RC sales and stuff. And I'm probably not like the best sailor, but I just love the technical stuff and all that. So anyways, I got into it, and I'm like, okay, well, there has to be a better way of shaping sales. And I got this crazy idea in my head. I just got to get it out. So, of course, like, I mean, you get into like a camber board, things big. I actually really didn't like using it. And then an article came out through Eric Rosenbaum. Great guy, met him last October there, and he wrote an article with this Claudio gadget, and essentially what it is you know, with the camber board, you gotta lay your stuff down here, and flap it over, and then you know, you got stuff on it. So so then this came out, and you know, it's like a quarter of the size. And it works on the idea of basically using shims to kind of give you that little, you see that little gap there for the curvature. And you know, you do the same kind of thing where you flip it over and you pan all your sails. A little while back, Galactic came out with a process to mold his sails. I'm not sure how he does it. He says it is cold press, so I'm assuming that it's something to do with like a big machine that came down and just stomped the hell out of these sails, which is great and all. But you know what? I'm a home guy, and I don't have a big machine. I mean, the space in my garage is what I get to spare for. The wife gives me the space to kind of do what I do. So. Anyways, I figured, okay, well, there has to be a better way. Well, I was thinking, and I kind of dreamt up this thing where, okay, well, you've got the Claudio thing, and he puts a bend in it, and that bend kind of puts the curvature in the sail. I'm like, okay, well, what about if we built the same thing and mirrored it? So that we can apply some heat. So essentially, what it's doing is it's creating that that curve on the sail, and when you lay it on the sail, you shrink it down. You release the shims, and it shrinks down, and it gives you that little bit of lip that basically. Anyways, you heat it down, and that should be your mold. So I came up with this gadget here. So you've got a pivot point in the middle here, and that's where you set where the peak of your camber is. And on the edges, you got this 2 pins here. And essentially what you're doing is you're going to put these shims on. You're going to come up with your how much camber you want, and you're going to put your shims in like this to create that bend. And when you have that set, you use your double-sided tape, you put it on top of the sail, you release the shims, and you apply heat and flatten out the sail that way. So essentially shrinking in the amount that got curved up. So I'm going to test that. Okay. I've got my gadget thing here all hooked up. I've exaggerated the camber here just to see if it'll kind of give me the same effect. I have my double-sided tape here, so I'm going to remove that and place it on the sail material, which is it's a 35 micron mylar. So we'll see how this works anyways. Did a video back using CPM 505 and heat, and it actually worked quite well. But again, that involves like a very large machine to suck down the material and everything. So, okay, so here we go. Let's check it out. So we're just going to place some on the material so it's flat. Okay, and then I'm going to release the camber here. You see the sail kind of pop up a little bit there, right? Okay, so there you go. So the idea being that when this is all flattened down, it'll pinch in to give you the camber developed by this tool. So let's have a look here. Okay, so we're just gonna get the heat going here. See it kind of slowly shrinking, which is essentially what you want. You don't want to have it come in too fast because you'll get kind of like this crazy rippling going on. So just take your time with it. So I'm just going to turn up the heat just a little bit more here. You can see it shrinking. I don't know if you can see it on the camera, but it has shrunk a little bit there. So maybe the amount of cards you need, when similar to the Claudio gadget, is you're going to need probably twice as many cards. All right. So I'm just going to take a look at this actually. It looks like it has shrunk down quite a bit. Interesting. You can see that. Okay, guys. Moment of truth here. Let's pull this thing off here. Interesting. Oh, wow. Okay, so it looks like you do need approximately twice as many shims, so that when it shrinks down, you don't want to use it as a, but I don't know if you can tell on camera, but there's just the right amount of camber on there actually. So I better remember the setting. So there you have it, molding sails using a different type of gadget there and heat. Happy sailing.